Hello and welcome back to Buckle Up. I'm Harry King and this is the Skoda Superb. It's not just any Superb though, this is the ultimate Q-ship. This is the secret weapon in the arsenal of fast VAG wagons because under this bonnet resides the engine from the Golf GTI. On these wheels there is four-wheel drive, which means this goes from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds, all while looking like your granddad's Skoda Superb. I have a long time obsession with this car, and today I'm going to find out if it can live up to all of my expectations. Come along with me and let's find out. This is actually going to be a slightly abridged review because Rob has actually already reviewed this generation of Skoda Superb Estate in FEV form. If you go up there, whichever side it is, you can watch that review now. Let's talk styling though, because as I've mentioned, performance engine, this is the sport line, which means you get lots of gloss black, and Skoda have in general given this a very focused, sporty looking front end. With that being said, all of that styling is common to the full Superb range, excluding the kind of sporty gloss black bits, and that's kind of why I like this car so much, or I like the idea of this car so much, because yes, this is the sport line, but you could get the sport line with a pretty mundane engine. You can get this with a 2-litre diesel and it's quite slow, and from the outside you can't really tell the difference. Q car, as some people would refer to it, based on the Second World War Q ships that were secretly armoured warships designed to sink U-boats while looking like merchant vessels. That's this. It's going to go sink your U-boats. Great honking wheels on this, 19 inches. They don't look huge though, because this is an long boy, the longest of boys, basically 5 meters long. It does compact though with Skoda's simply clever features. So here on the windscreen we find a clip for your parking tickets. Just inside this door we find an umbrella for days like today when you're getting completely soaked through filming a car review. Inside this fuel filler flap we find an ice scraper, lovely stuff, and then round at the boot there is an absolute treasure trove of practicality back here. Let's talk quickly about why enthusiasts like estate cars. For us, they don't have daddish connotations. For us, it means we can get all of our stuff, all of our things, our dogs, our children, our chests of drawers, in a car while it's still low and lithe and good to drive, unlike a crossover or an SUV. In our minds, they are just adding weight and complexity to something that could be better to drive if you lightened it and simplified it, in the words of Colin Chapman, who I assume just loved a big practical estate car. I think that, you know, Lotus, I'm sure we're just on the cusp of it, right before DMC bankrupted them. Few badges, Superb, Skoda, and 4x4. This is kind of the closest you get to maybe knowing that this is a bit tasty. Also, if you're paying very close attention and you're a bit of a perv, you can look up under the back skirt and you will see there are dual exit exhausts. They are completely discreet, just downturns though. It doesn't really make any noise either, it just sounds like an car. However, if I open up this electronic tailgate, we find an absolute cavern of space. Huge amount of space, but also features. Under the boot floor, we have a space saver spare wheel and a proper jack. There is a compartment on the left-hand side of the boot. You open that up, you find Annette. She's having a lovely time in there. And also, something I really love Skoda for doing, there's kind of little stickable luggage dividers you can put on the boot floor to hold a bag in place. On the other side, in the same place, there is another storage cubby with a strap in it. This one is fitted with a little bag with a blanket in it, which also looks like it will hang from somewhere, if I can figure out exactly what that's for. There's also a plethora of hooks, 2 on either side on the panels where you can flick to release the seats, a 12-volt socket up on the left one of them as well, and also they've fitted hooks onto the backs of the top tethers for the ISOFIX system for the passenger seats. There's a pass-through ski hatch and the seats fold 60/40. You fold them down. No, it's not a continuous boot floor, but it is a humongous amount of space. You have to get a really big crossover before it gets this practical. You have to get something D segment, bigger than a Tucson, bigger than a Tiguan. And yes, I know there's stuff like a load lip and a hump in the floor, but the boot is lower, so it's actually easier to get stuff in and out of. It just makes sense to me. It just makes so much sense. Should we see what the inside's like? Okay, well, the first thing I'm impressed with in the back is the amount of room. I am sat behind my seating position, and if we take a spin around and look down, I have plenty of leg room. My feet go all the way under the seat in front, and this is in the lowest position. So lots and lots and lots of space for taller passengers as well, because look, I've got loads of headroom. Even if I sit up completely bolt upright and stretch, I've still got headroom. I'm 5'11" or 180 centimetres tall, whichever takes your fancy. But I'm going to say that 6 foot plus would probably be okay. I think this has an air of like stealth wealth to it. And to be fair, it is fairly spenny. You're looking in the 50 grand region for one specced up nicely, but no one's gonna go, oh, he's driving a Skoda, let's rob him. The connection isn't quite there, but I think this is just as nice, if not nicer, than being in the back of something like an Audi A6. Tempted yet? Are you tempted yet? Let's take a look in the front, see if I can tempt you. So actually, just before we climb in, I wanted to show off the seat. So if we flip this around again, these are so comfortable up here in the front, but they're also so adjustable. So you can see you've got the kind of conventional adjustment. It's also then a massaging seat, memory seat, and it is heated. And also no need to buy a BMW, because if I reach under here, that pops forward. So if you've got long legs, it's very comfortable. Pop that back to where it was and climb in. So since we were just seating, let's talk about it. As I've mentioned, this is in my driving position. I'm set all the way down with the front slightly tilted up to give me a bucket, lovely bucket seat setup. We have lovely materials on the doors and on the seats, but you can see humongous door pocket. I've also got a nice felt lined glove box. I've got a wireless charger with my plug-in options, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. These dials are amazing. Also here you've got your full driver's display and a large infotainment screen. I know some people don't like that this kind of looks like a stuck-on tablet, but it is very large, very clear, and importantly, it works because they've fixed the computers now. Also, steering wheel. I like this a lot. I can just tap this button and I can immediately get to my speed warning and lane assist and just turn them off. I can do all of that without going into a touchscreen as well. I can do it on the fly. And then one last bit of simply clever practicality. If we come down here, there is a bifold center console storage area. This is like a screen cleaner. There's this lift out long tray, and there's also this lift out pocket tray, but also just a huge amount of space that you can configure however you want. Very, very nice stuff. And again, covered in Allen. Lots of Allen in this car and lots to like, but let's find out what the drive's like. This is the important bit then, because we already know the Superb as a kind of general car, family car, road trips. It's great for all of that. The driving, usually very relaxed. Engines are powerful enough for the normal versions, but this is kind of the performance one. So what have they done to make this version a bit sporty, a bit more special? Well, it's got driving modes, but also with that, it's got Skoda's adaptable suspension. It's DCC, dynamic chassis control, 15-way selectable, adjustable damping. It's too many options, to be honest, but it does mean you can go for floaty soft to uncomfortably stiff if you would like, or if you just want to cycle through the drive modes, they also each have an adjustment on the range. None of the adjustments go all the way to one side or the other, because in both sides for this car they are a bit too extreme. And also, no matter how stiff you make the dampers, you still get a bit of rolling corners, but I would argue it becomes uncomfortably jiggly kind of at anything over sports mode, which I think is like 4 below maximum. Obviously with that adjustment you also get changes in throttle response and gearbox. It's a 7-speed DSG in here. As I have mentioned, this is a 2-litre 4-cylinder TSI VW power unit. It's, you know, it's the GTI engine, it's the EA 888, massively tunable, obviously. put down onto the ground with an all-wheel drive system, 400 newton meters of torque. That gets this from 0 to 62 in 5.6 seconds, which is hot hatch fast. But previous generation of this, which had the same engine, Skoda decided to have just a little bit of fun before they refreshed the model, and they sent it away to a tuner who got it to well over 400 horsepower. So it was in kind of Audi S territory. And that tuner has retained all of that information. So if you wanted to go and take your Superb and make it an absolute like BMW M Sport or even M car killer, that option is available to those with pockets deep enough. Of course, this has a warranty and everything, so you might not want to go and do that necessarily. And I'm going to say it's quick enough. And not only is it quick enough, it actually handles as well. Yes, it's big-bodied and it rolls a little bit in the corners, even with the suspension turned all the way up. But there's loads of grip thanks to that all-wheel drive system. It's a very competent chassis anyway. This is on the same platform as any of those medium-sized performance cars from the VAG group. So the Octavia VRS, GTI, Golf R, all the Cooper stuff is all on this platform. So they really know how to get the most out of it. And it seems that they have allowed that to be put into here, even though it's not a full-blown VRS model. I do wonder what they would have to offer in the Superb to justify putting the VRS badge on it. If they maybe put in the full Golf R tune, 333 brake, maybe they'd be prepared to call it a VRS. And that would be an incredible car, but there would no longer be any point in buying an Audi at all. Right now, this being 265, it's still a quick car. It's still great fun to drive, but they've left themselves a bit of headroom. I really like it, though. And it's so understated. Like, no one expects to be monstered by a Superb at the lights, because you expect it to have a 1.6 diesel and 105 horsepower, and this one doesn't. It just goes. It is an big boy, so it's quite wide, it's quite long. The visibility is good, and you do get a reversing camera, but tight car parks are not its friend due to its length. Obviously, you have no concerns about headroom, but you'll have to very quickly become a confident parker if you want to get one of these. With the tech, though, I don't find it particularly difficult to park, which means I'm almost certainly going to damage it while I'm parking it now. Why did I say that so boastfully? I'm a stupid man. I'm not claiming to be a great driver either, so it's clearly within the realms of possibility for anyone. Here we go, a little squirt around this roundabout. Oh, no, you're coming around quite fast in your Yaris. Here we go. Off. Woo! So it just kind of goes. Doesn't make a meal of it. And then, oh, there we go. It's addictive to take people by surprise like that. It's the joy of having a Q car. But also, for all of this, thanks to the adjustable chassis and also the fact that these seats are incredibly comfortable, they're massaging, they're heated, the cabin is still spacious and airy, this is still a great car for all of the rest of the time. They haven't taken any of that away. I've still got all of the stuff that I've shown you through the rest of the car. It's kind of like hot hatch plus. Not many people, or not many mainstream brands do estates full stop, actually. But it used to be the case that pretty much all of the mainstream brands would offer a large engined version of their mid to executive sized saloon and estate car. I'm thinking like Mondeo ST, Vectra VRX or GSI, Mazda 6, was it Mazda Speed 6? Anyway, you get the point. It used to be like the next level up from the hot hatch is, oh, well, you had a little kid, you had a hot hatch. Now maybe you need something a little bit bigger, but you're still a keen driver. But also all of those cars retained that practicality, and this is still doing that. And otherwise it's kind of a car segment that's been lost. There was, up until recently, there was the Arteon R, that's gone. They used to put this powertrain into the Passat. As far as I'm aware, the most powerful Passat now is 200 PS or 204. They used to have the Peugeot 508 PSE, Peugeot Sport Engineered, which is the kind of mad plug-in hybrid thing. But if you don't want this, the only other option for a kind of discreet fast estate now is a Volvo. And actually, I think technically they're not making brand new ones anymore. They might still be making V60s, but I think V90's gone. So my genuine thorough recommendation is, if you're thinking about getting a car like this, go and do it before it's too late, because you never know, year to year, Skoda might suddenly go, oh, we can't justify this engine under the emissions anymore. We're keeping the Octavia because it's like the star of the range, and the Superb's going to have to, you know, chill out a bit. And this is a really genuinely brilliant car. I don't think I can say that strongly enough. Because, yeah, I know it's not like an M car or an RS Audi or something. It's not on that level. You wouldn't take this to a track. But I think actually in the real world, this is really bloody quick, and as quick as you're ever going to need something to be on the road. Nice to drive, properly nice to drive, engaging but also relaxing when you need it to be. And I can't imagine you ever needing more room than you have in here, unless you literally need 7 seats, in which case you are at that point hamstrung into having either a van or an SUV. But for so many people, this would make so much sense. And, best part of this, when I've been driving it at length, 35 mpg. In a car with this performance, really impressive. And there's no hybrid or anything. So, it's a great choice. And I would honestly, really strongly recommend one. But I'll go back and I'll do a proper full conclusion for you. So, that is the Superb tested. And what am I thinking? Well, quite simply, I love it. I love the fact that, yes, this is the sport line, but this basically goes unnoticed, and yet it's savagely fast. Sure, it's not completely outwardly sporty like a full VRS model would be, but I still think it has great driver engagement. I really enjoy driving it, and it's also practical, spacious, comfortable, and luxurious. And when you mesh all of those things together, I just think this is one of the best cars currently on sale. Full stop, period. So, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the Superb. Would you buy one of these? Would you be tempted to get something with an Audi or a VWR badge on it so it looks a bit more the part? Or do you like the fact that this flies under the radar? Also, while you're down there, if you go into the description, you'll find all the links to all our social medias. Please go follow us in those places too. We post lots more content about cars, because we're car guys. Also, there are 2 ways you can directly support the channel if you have enjoyed or do regularly enjoy watching us. We have memberships right here on YouTube, and we also have merchandise that you can buy from our store, link in description. Please go and do one or all of those things, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.